I went and saw Zero Dark 30 today. That is a movie. Zero Dark 30 is the latest film from director Kathryn Bigelow. I love Kathryn Bigelow, but I hate having to type her name in IMDb. I always forget if it's with a C or with a K or with an R-I-N or R-Y-N. I never spell the name right, and it just takes me like 3 searches to get that thing correct. I need to just start typing in her movie titles instead. I don't know why I don't, but it drives me nuts. It really does. She is a good director, though. This movie, both very, very good movies. You can argue that this didn't deserve Best Picture the year it won, but it is a darn good movie. I really love The Hurt Locker. It's a good one. So is Point Break. She's very good at directing action stuff, and I've always liked her as a director. She's so stinking good at building tension in her films and making your heart pound, and you just want to grab the edge of your seat because you're just so in the movie. She just does a really good job of that. And part of that's the pacing of her films, part of that's just the tone. And this movie, I mean, wow, I was so impressed with Zero Dark 30. This film tells the story of the decade-long search for Osama bin Laden after 9/11. They spent a long time trying to find this man. A lot of work went into that search. It wasn't just them stumbling upon him in the desert one day and go, oh, there's Osama bin Laden. Why didn't we know he was there? That's convenient. This movie tells the story of what actually happened. The search party is headed by a woman named Maya, played by Jessica Chastain in the film. I don't know how that relates to what actually happened. I don't know if there's a real woman named Maya that headed the search party. I'm assuming that there probably is a person that headed the search because they get a lot of credit in this movie, and if there is, thank you, that person. I just want to say up front that I knew nothing about this story going into this film. I didn't know anything about the search. I don't know any of the people that were involved. I really don't know anything about it. And so that was part of the reason this film was interesting to me. There's a lot of people that have just been furious about the facts in this film and how the film portrays what happened. And some people say it wasn't real. Some people says it's false. And some people say that it has a standpoint that isn't true. I don't know. I don't care, really. I thought it was a good movie. So that's my take on that matter. Regardless, in the movie, this woman named Maya, played by Jessica Chastain, heads the search for Osama bin Laden, and she puts a lot of effort into this search. I mean, she's like, it's her life. And there's at one point in the film where somebody's like, what have you done for us other than the search for Osama? And she's like, nothing. I haven't done anything. And it's all that she's lived for, practically. And I really like how the film portrayed that she's got so much on the line because it's all that matters to her. It's all that she's been doing for an entire decade. The search for Osama is her obsession. It's what gets her up out of bed in the morning, if she gets sleep at all. And she goes through so much to find this guy, and this film is telling this story, and I just thought it was incredibly interesting. Some people might find this film boring because there's a lot of, oh, we're going to go find this guy. Oh, we need to talk to this guy. We need to talk to this guy. We need to go and interrogate him. We need to do this. And I mean, there's a lot of that, and it's really quick. And if you're not paying attention, you can get lost. And it's just a lot of information. And so some people might just be like, I don't want to watch this at all. So that's fine. But I found it really interesting because I knew absolutely nothing about the story. The film sits at over 2 hours and 45 minutes. So it's a long movie. Know that going in, or you're going to be looking at your watch going, oh my gosh, why I've been sitting here for a long time. This film is very fast-paced for a long movie. In those scenes where they're like, we gotta talk to this guy, it feels intense, but they're just sitting in an office talking about it. And it's just because of the pacing, and I definitely give credit to the editors of this film. They did a fantastic job of keeping things quick and moving, and it was interesting for the whole film, in my opinion. That being said, it's a lot of information, and it's so quick, and for that long, it can get just physically tiring taking in everything that this film's throwing at you. It's a lot. It's a lot of information, and they're going lots of places. They'll travel to a different country in a matter of a minute, just because there's a lot of places. This is a span of a decade, so it's a long search. After 2 hours, I was like, I'm tired. And it was midnight, too. I went to see this after seeing Gangster Squad. So I saw Gangster Squad, sat through that, did not like it. Then I went and saw this, and I was thoroughly entertained. But by the end of it, I was physically exhausted. My eyeballs were tired because they were, and there's just a lot of stuff. I think the pacing and the length of the film and just the amount of information, is what made the film good and interesting, but it's also probably my only gripe about the film is I was physically tired by the end of it. So if I'm going to make a complaint about this movie, that would probably be it. If that makes any sense. Hope it does. My favorite thing about the film was the fact that you had a character that you could latch onto and you could relate to. Jessica Chastain's character in this movie, you could relate to her. She was interesting. You didn't get a whole lot of background, but just her motivation and how passionate she was about this topic was enough characterization for me. You saw just how excited she was to be a part of this search, and just it meant a lot to her. So I liked her character a lot in this movie. She was really good. Jessica Chastain was great also. I mean, she's one of the better actresses working currently, in my opinion. She's really good. And she's excellent in this film. I mean, this is like her film. She's the main character. There's a couple other characters, especially like the guy that does a lot of the interrogations. He's also really good. But she's the main one. She's definitely the one that gets most screen time, and she's excellent in this film. Overall, Zero Dark 30 is a great movie. I really like this one. This definitely would have been on my top 10 list if I had seen it last year. I'm going to give this film my highest recommendation, an A+. I thought it was fantastic. If you're going to go see a movie in theaters and spend the money, go see Zero Dark 30. Don't waste your time with Gangster Squad or really anything else. Haunted Mansion. Why are people going to see that movie? Stop it. Go see Zero Dark 30. Definitely go see it in the theater. It's an experience. Do it.